Hello, welcome to this podcast. My name is Beatrice Mars and I am a singer-songwriter from France. So, I don't know what the title of this podcast is going to be as I'm recording it right now, but I wanted to come back to you because it's time to rejoice. I know I've mentioned it in my last podcast, but today I had the stats, people. Yesterday I had a look at the stats, and I guess somehow this podcast is for the naysayers, and somehow I'm gonna like bust a myth somehow. I don't know, myth busting. Well, well, I wanted to say. So if you are French and you've been to my French channel, you may know the information I'm about to say. But if you're not, I'm gonna say it in English. So basically, what happened is that yesterday I went to check out my stats after the release of my last album, which is called In Your Head. It was released on September 16th of this year, and honestly, with this album, I'm overjoyed. I'm more than surprised, and busting the myth. I'm on the moon right now somehow. So I checked the stats and I was surprised because, like I said on my last podcast, some people went to listen to my last album on YouTube, and to me it's a huge number. It's something I've never seen before. I'm on my 7th album. If you're new to my podcast, or if you're new to my work, okay, or new to this channel, because as usual, I'm recording this podcast for you on video for YouTube. So that video will be posting on YouTube later on. So yeah, so it's the first time. So if it's my 7th release, it's the first time that when I release an album, 3 months later, I'm starting to see the stats for the release. So people have been listening to uh, to my to my music for the past 3 months, and I'm overjoyed. And basically, I had the stats from basically I had the listing from the YouTube listeners, and it's good. It's good. It's more than I mean, I would say it's one. I would like to say it's one, but it's more than one. And as you know me, if you've been subscribed to my podcast or my channel on YouTube, you know that my motto is if it's more than one, it's good. If it's more than one, it's good. And it's well more than one, so it's very good. And it's only on one platform, which is YouTube, so it's very, very good to me as far as I'm concerned. So I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen on other platform, knowing very well that I'm basically my work is distributed on many platforms all over the world. So I need to wait. So 3 months to me, after 3 months seeing some result, I'm on the overjoy mode. That's all I can say. That's the reason why I'm doing this podcast slash video today. So I know that some of them it might take over a year, even 2 years to actually see the results, to see the listing. Some people on some platform might take something like 6 months, but anyway, to me, this last launch is a success. It's the irony of the thing. That album was meant to come out in 2020. It did not come out because suddenly I found myself with no money whatsoever. I've only released this album because CD Baby surged the prices for the release. So I went for it, and I'm like, wow, 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 wow. So I'm very happy woman. That's what you can hear basically. That's what I can say. So for the naysayers, I've promoting nothing. I've not promoting this album. Okay, I cannot afford to promote my music. That's all I can say, and I'm gonna explain to you why in a few seconds. Because primarily, I have no money. So the good question is that if I had a budget for it, would I spend the money with what I know right now? I know now. So this is for the naysayers, so no promotion, no nothing. I'm not asking my friends or family to actually go and listen to my music because to me it's bad business. That's all I can say. So I'm very much, my motto, my philosophy is that whoever needs to hear the work will find the work and will hear it and enjoy it. That's all I can say. That's the way I go. I know it's contrary to whatever it is said on the music business. I know sometimes I'm meeting some people, I'm taking the flack, and some people are basically laughing at my face. But what I can say is that people around the world are listening to my music. I don't live from my music because the rate that is paid for every time for every listener is so low that I'm only earning cents. But what I can say, every month since 2017, well, almost, because it's already started around 2018, I think, as far as I can remember. I'm earning a few cents, a few pennies, okay, for my music, which is better than nothing, because I was brought to believe that I would earn nothing at all. And I have to say, since 2020, the amount of cents have tripled. I've done better in 2 years than I did between 2017 and 2020. How can it be? No promotion, no nothing. Nothing. Just me releasing podcasts whenever I feel like it. Whenever I feel like I've got something to say about the music, my music, whatever is on my mind, related to music, I don't know. So, this is for the naysayers. And then, so, to put things into perspective, okay. On my French channel, I'm actually talking about the current events, and I've been somehow denouncing what's happening around the world since March 2020, to tell you things. And basically, I am heavily censored on my YouTube channel, my French YouTube channel. And actually, this week, well, at the end of last week, the last few weeks, I'm actually checking the stats on Social Blade. And at the end of last week, I think it was 2 weeks or 1 week ago, and I realized, it looks like because as you know, if you're distributing your album as a pro, okay, the music is gonna go on YouTube, and YouTube is going to open a channel where all your music is gonna be. So I was looking at those stats from that channel, and I realized that some views were missing or disappearing. And I spontaneously, when I realized that, I did a video in French last week. And the thing is, I don't actually check my stats every day. I was used to, but I stopped to do it. And I thought, I need to check something. I'm coming back in a minute. And I was right, people. I had to actually check something. So, yeah, and I realized that some views were missing. And I thought, maybe. And then I went into check my stats on the distributing website, CD Baby, namely. And I realized that I had some listeners on YouTube, like I said right at the beginning, and those views were missing from my stats. So basically, I'm being censored also on my music. I would say on my music channel, the Beatrice Mars channel. So what I'm what I'm recording, what I'm wondering is it because is it has it been since the beginning, or is it just because in 2020 I started to do those video in my French channel, and truthfully, someone is monitoring whatever I'm saying, and my views are removed, my number of subscribers are removed, and I'm thinking that maybe, surely, that's what I discovered yesterday. It was the same thing on my music channel, which is called Beatrice Mars. So, like I said, I have the listing from from CD Baby to prove that actually some views are missing. So I know. So it's not that important to me as much, but because at the end of the day, I will spend the few cents I was owed, but I was paid the few cents I was owed. So I don't mind that much, but it's just for principle. And I'm gonna go back and relate to something I realized when I released my very first album called Delirium Tremens. Prior to that, I was on Facebook as Beatrice Mars, and Beatrice Mars, right from the beginning, it was solely a blog where I was actually talking about things in general, philosophy, well-being, and talking about the subject, well, the self-development work, because I was reading a lot of those books. So, and then, as I said before, in 2016, at the end of 2016, I've decided to do something about my music and release it for good, and doing it between quotes the proper way. So, when I decided to do that, and I started to actually somehow promote my very first album on Facebook, I realized immediately that there was some algorithmic business going on, because suddenly it felt to me like the number of people who were actually seeing my pages was decreasing, and to a point where I realized that somehow, to have some people to view my pages, I would have to pay some money to promote myself on Facebook. I said, and at the time I had also money trouble, and basically somehow I was better off than what I am today. That's what I can say. But I said to myself, I'm not, because this is what I've noticed. There is no way I'm gonna give them some money. That's all. I couldn't sit. I mean, if you like, and they're not the only ones. I mean, I could go on various sites. I could tell you the list of where, basically, sites I'm using on an everyday basis, and basically, you got the same type of algorithm. If you don't give them money to promote whatever you want to sell, you won't get shit. Oops, sorry. You won't get nothing. You won't get views. You won't get people coming to. You have to pay. You have to pay. You have to pay. You have to pay. Keep paying. So this is not the way I do things. Basically, even though I need some money, but I'm not willing to enrich some very large corporation so that other corporation can take advantage of whatever little